What's going on, everybody? Shin and I back again with another replay cast. We've got something a little different for you today. Down here in the bottom left, it's none other than Mini playing off race as ZERG. In the bottom right, his Terran opponent, an S rank player. Looks like he's at 2300, so a very strong Terran player indeed. A good test here for Mini and his ZERG play. I've never seen Mini play ZERG before, have you?
No, I haven't. I would imagine someone of Mini's caliber can play probably all three races at least an S rank level. So it would be interesting to see if he can hold his own against this 2300 Terran. He definitely won't have some of the skill set that he needs to compete at a very high level as ZERG, because probably his Mutilus Micro, for example, isn't at the caliber of, say, someone like Soma's. But it would be interesting to see if he can hold his own against this S-rank Terran here. I believe he would be able to, though. Like, most of these pros can play all three races at a pretty competent level.
Yeah, I definitely expect a good game here. I don't know what kind of style Mini's gonna play, because he does play so different in when he does play Protoss. He's like a very innovative player. I don't know what we're gonna expect here out of Mini. If he's gonna come up with something new, or is he just gonna stick to the standard meta?
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to be doing 2-hatch or 3-hatch, basically. We do see the 12 hatchery so far. We'll be seeing in a minute if he's going to be throwing down that pool and gas, or if we're just going to see a pool and then some drones. Here we see the pool and the gas. Okay, so it is going to be a 2-hatch. Oh, he tried to do the execution where you make the gas before you make the pool, so that even though you don't have enough minerals to make the gas, the animation of the drone going onto the gas starts. And if you get the minerals for the gas before the drone connects with the center of that gas geyser, you can still get the gas a little bit quicker as a result, but wasn't able to execute the mineral optimization needed to do that.
Mini pretending his drone is a probe right now, chasing down an SCV in the main. He's almost got it as well. 5 HP on this thing, but a Marine does pop out. He is forced back. He managed to see the gas, though. That's the important thing. He knows that this is not just going to be a quick CC. Only 2 on the gas right now for a wait, but he's going to throw down a factory very, very soon. And we'll see what kind of build he wants to pull out from here. Does he just want to go Vulture, maybe into a mech build, or is he going to go for some Wraiths? A 1-1-1, now with 3 in the gas. So he's probably going to go for a starport here after this.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a starport. It's just going to be what variation are we going to see of that? Oh, gets that kill in the natural as well.
The drone kill. I think that was the drone that was retreating.
Yeah,
the
the 5
map.
HP SCV got the job done as well. That's absolutely crazy from this S-rank Terran. I'm sure Mini's a little bit flustered by that, realizing, oh, hang on a minute, my drones aren't quite as good as probes. Need to be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah. An easy mistake to make. They do have range, but it's not quite the same. Like that SCV, brave SCV, gonna head back into the natural here of the ZERG player with just 5 HP.
What a hero, dude.
Yeah, taking a look at the eggs.
We do have that 2-port Wraith coming up. Okay, finally SCV biting the dust to the drone.
And the drone just gonna stand there triumphantly. Finally does go back to mining. And an add-on was canceled here for a wait. That's a little bit funny. Oh my god, 2-port Wraith here in the bottom left-hand corner, and it was spotted by the Overlord as well. That's a little bit rough here for a Terran.
Yeah, I think the add-on was just to like mind game a little bit, like say like a Zergling or something comes up to check the ramp. He thinks, oh, maybe it's Vulture drop or Vulture run by, because I see the add-on. Ooh, beautiful catch on this Vulture from Mini. Could be picking that off nicely with a Sunken on the way, making him safer against any potential follow-up. Yeah, but I think the add-on on the factory is just a little mind game in case the Zerg comes up and checks it. Makes him think that, oh, maybe it's Vulture drop, maybe it's Vulture run by, and doesn't really identify the 2-port Wraith quick enough and can't throw down that Hydra Den to mitigate the damage that those Wraiths will do to his Overlords.
Right. Well, these Zerglings are going to be pushed away by the Vulture. Does a little bit too much DPS, two-shotting those links, so he is going to have to back away. Meanwhile, in Mini's base, losing an Overlord here, or 2. He's thrown down a couple of the creep colonies. Looks like he's gonna go the spore route here for holding off these wraiths.
Yeah, he kind of needs to. Oh, he's got burrow as well. Wow. Okay, that's really cool. So he's not only got the burrow, which is going to really protect him, like going into this early game phase. It's unfortunate he lost that over Overlord. That's going to supply block him for quite some time. I really do like the burrow and spores. The placement of the other spore is a bit weird, but you kind of have to place it in this weird position to both cover the gas and the minerals. But it does open you up to harass from these wraiths, so you'll be in a little bit of trouble as the cloak starts to come online in the next minute or two. And we'll be killing. Oh no, he's going to lose another Overlord if he's not careful. He did not immediately move it to the other side, so we'll lose another Overlord. It's really rough for Mini losing these Overlords very early on. Another Wraith though, going to be maybe going down to the Spore, reduced to only 30 hit points. So both players needing to be very careful with their units right now.
Yeah, Broodling in the natural. You can't take that for quite a long time. You're going to have to get into an academy eventually, or some turrets down there in the low ground to eventually get that base. But I kind of like this from Await. Going against a player like Mini, I'm sure he doesn't know that this is actually Mini. He's playing on one of his other accounts. But, you know, it's going to be really hard to hold this off because you just don't have that experience, right? We saw earlier he still had his rallies set to his natural. When the Overlord was popping out, he should have had that set to the Spore to make sure that the Overlord could survive, and he's lost so many Overlords now. I think like 4 or 5 Overlords have gone down. That's just inexperience against this type of play. If you're a player who doesn't play ZERG a whole lot, you're probably not going to see this much. It was a very popular build a few years ago, but it's kind of fallen out of that popularity and can be very oppressive.
These mutas are out of position. The cloak is already online, so the mutas are going to take a lot of damage to these Gemini missiles from these wraiths, and loses 2 mutas in the process. And now the wraith's up to a healthy count of 6. It's starting to get a little bit scary for Mini. He's going to have to turtle up and try and build up his muta count, slowly getting that carapace online. But he will be losing quite a few drones in the process. With these 6 wraiths, he's able to easily pick off these drones one at a time.
I'm shocked he was actually able to hit that underneath the Overlord as well. He got 2 drones right underneath the Overlord. You can see the Overlord is placed there to make it difficult to actually shoot that, but really crisp play there, able to get on top of that and hit that down. Now some Scourge coming into the main base. They're going to try and connect with these wraiths, but really nice crisp micro there from Await. Going to keep those alive for now. The mutas here in a bit of a dangerous position. They don't have anywhere to run to if the wraiths do come out and cloak, so that's pretty scary to be right up here in the face of the Terran with just a few mutas. But Await not going to dive on that. He's just going to go ahead and repair his wraiths.
Yeah, I mean, the wraiths do have longer range than the mutas, so a perfect micro, it's a bit of a nightmare for Mini, and Mini's obviously not a main ZERG player, so it might be a little bit hard for him to outmaneuver these wraiths, but he can still do it. He's got a few more Scourge waiting in the wings. Carapace is just about to finish up. He's going to get a catch on this Vulture, which is nice, because that will stop him from being prevented and taking his 3rd base soon, so not having that Vulture out on the map is a little bit of a win for Mini as well, and with that Carapace upgrade now coming online, he can maybe start to get some kind of air superiority going. He does need to kind of pincer these wraiths and get on top of them, but you also will need the Overlord speed to be able to keep chasing them and keep granting him vision of those wraiths as they maneuver with Cloak.
More drones going down here in the natural, just dipping in and taking a shot. The Spore is a really good deterrent, but it's not going to stop this Terran player forever, and he's coming in for that pincer right now. Really good play here from Mini, but excellent dodging there and juking by Await, just finding the one hole where he could escape from that pincer. Manages to get away there to the south, and yeah, just will keep firing here, dealing damage to these wraiths with the cloak. Will be able to pull away from this and just keep those alive. Oh god, he comes a little bit too close. He's gonna lose another wraith there, so a bit unfortunate, not getting any damage for that lost wraith. And here comes a lot of Overlords into the main. This is gonna be a seriously aggressive attack from Mini here on just 2 bays. He's going all on to Await here, diving right on top of the Marines, going after those. He's got a ton of Overlords here. There's no chance of snipes from Await, and taking this out with just Cloak, so he's gonna have to fight this. All the Marines have gone down so far. They don't have that stim, I think, unless it did finish up a little bit earlier. Going right on top of these turrets as well. He's going to start to focus down the turrets. There's still one Wraith in here, so I'd like to see him focus the Wraith first. That does a lot more damage. Here comes some more Marines popping out of the barracks, just barely in time. Going to start to fire down on these Overlords, picking off a couple of them. May supply block Mini here. He's killing off the Marines, though, and there's only a few medics left. He could fire those down as well. There's nothing here to stop him. The turrets are not in range of these barracks, so he can stay right on top of this production, but he can't stay on top of the starports and the barracks at the same time. Some Lings coming across. Here comes some Scourge as well. He's going to keep picking off SCVs here. This is like a do or die moment here for Await, with only a few Mutalisks left, about 6 mutas in total. Can he actually bring this game to a close? It's very, very close now as the turrets just keep getting picked off.
Oh, I don't like this from Mini, though. He's trying to be a little bit too cocky and diving on these turrets. It can throw the game a little bit. You have to be really cautious in how you try and go about this game from this point on. You don't want to lose too many mutas, because you need to maintain your map control going forward and keep staying on top of the Terran production. He could have also stayed on top of these starports just a little bit, trying to time out when these Wraiths would pop out. If he saw when they started, he'd know when they're popping out, so he could then coordinate an attack on them as they came out. You need to be a little bit more cautious with this. He could have stayed on the Terran production a lot longer and prevented this Bible from getting up. It is a bit of a weird situation because it is still 1 base versus 2 base. There is a very low drone count, so the game is still kind of relatively even in terms of production, but the Terran's slowly becoming mined out. So if he maintains his map control and prevents the Terran from taking his expansion for some time, he can get a kind of a technical win, because the Terran's expansion will be delayed so much they will remain on 1 base production for quite some time, whereas the ZERG can go up to 3. So right now I would say the position is better for Mini, but he needs to maintain his air superiority going forward, and he might not be able to do that because he did lose quite a few of the Mutalisks trying to finish the game right then and there.
What do you think about him sticking on Wraiths? I feel like once your Wraith count is reset, there's almost no point in continuing Wraith production. Switching over to Valkyrie would be way stronger.
Valkyrie would be probably stronger, or just even Vessels, but the problem is the gas, so he can't really afford Vessels right now, and he doesn't have a huge economy, so he's probably concerned about the investment into Valkyries, because if they do get sniped by Scourge, it can just be GG. So yeah, kind of a weird situation. He felt forced to continue making Wraiths and not transition into Valkyries, and as a result, this starport is getting lower and lower HP. He does manage to bully back the mutas with just these 3 cloaked Wraiths, so saving this starport for the time being, although it is slowly burning down. He's going to have to send over an SCV, as he does now, to maybe start repairing that.
A bust in the natural, but the medics didn't come. 3 medics just sitting out front here. That's a big mistake for Await. He probably could have killed that Sunken, maybe got a few Mutalisk kills, but now Mini just gonna swing the pressure back across the map. Uh-oh, flying with 2 mutas, that's not what you want to do. No, accidentally just giving those over for free. But he did shut down the Marine medic ball out on the map, and he's diving back in on top of these Marines. This is so much DPS.
That's such a misplay from Mini. He assumed because he had 11 mutas that he didn't have to micro, and that's not true. If you're shooting at Wraiths while Stim Marines are shooting you, that's not a good trade. So unfortunately for Mini, taking so many muta losses there, he went down from 11 to 4 mutas, so completely losing his air superiority all in one stroke. He did kill one of the starports and still has the Terran locked in on his base, and he is becoming mined out. There's only a couple of minutes left on mining time for this Terran player. He does have this command center on the way to float down, but if Mini could just maintain his muta count and prevent the Terran from taking his expansion, this would be fine for him. But as it stands, he did lose a lot of mutas just then, so it might be that this Terran can come down here with this Bioforce and retake this natural and keep the game going soon.
Yeah, if we're gonna take this natural, we'll probably need a lot more turrets though, and he's starting to slowly creep turrets forward, but it's still a long way to get to the natural. These mutas are growing in number once again. There's still no 3rd base on the way here for Mini though, so important to note. He doesn't have that 3rd gas up just yet. He's lost, he's killed off one of the starports here, and just has the 1 single starport floating away from these mutas. He might be able to pick that off. He could also go for some of these buildings down here, because it seems like Await is not interested in trying to defend this. Instead, gonna move forward and try to set up his natural. I feel like maybe a missed opportunity for Mini. Just kill some of these buildings, you know, get rid of the starport, get rid of the eBay. Actually, it's not researching right now, so you could probably just lift that off and run away.
Yeah, he's still not repairing this starport, so if he loses the starport, it's actually a bit of a nightmare for him, because it's going to be so long before he ever has vessels out or Valkyries to help support against these mutas. And like you said, like just having a handful of raids isn't really going to do much, especially in low number. We do have the +1 now online for the bio, so it's going to mitigate that +1 carapace of the mutas, but it's a little bit late. Like, he hasn't got a big bio force to kill the Zerg right this second, so as long as Mini can micro these mutas correctly, he should be okay. But I think he will need a third base going online in the next like 3 to 5 minutes, because he will be mined out in his main soon himself. Oh, he's diving onto this bunker. That's not a good play.
Losing a lot of mutas there just for some trades onto damage onto the bunker. Actually now starting to get some good shots off here on these Marines as they filter through the mineral patches and try to get on top of these mutas. A few raids coming up here, gonna get some free damage right on top of these mutas, but the overlords show up, and I think all of these are going to go down. No, he doesn't turn the overlords, so not able to chase those down and finish them off. This is a big chunk of mutas, though, and they're coming in for more damage at this natural. The bunker is there, but it's out of range of the back patches here, so endless micro can come down here from Mini. He's trying to dive on top of these Marines. My God, the trade is really not good there.
Yeah, the problem that Mini's having right now is that he's having a hard time stacking his mutas with these speed overlords. What he really should be doing is just constantly putting a lava into the control group of these mutas instead, and keep adding a lava each time he needs to use them over and over again, so that he can actually keep stacking his mutas while using the speed overlords. But as it stands, he's using his mutas independently of the stack, and they lose a lot of their potency when fighting Bioball like that. So now the Terran's stabilized a little bit, and it could be a little bit scary for Mini here, not having secured a third.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience that is a tough micro action to do, but you have to do it. You cannot just sit there and micro with a speed overlord. It's never gonna give you that perfect stacking. You're not gonna get the good trades, and the Marine medic ball is gonna wear you down. So now it looks like he's kind of pulled it together here. His mutas are stacking up very nicely. Looks like the Wraiths got caught in the middle of the map, so he can free up those mutas to deal damage elsewhere. We have an armory on the way, so there should be a Valkyrie coming soon, I think, but I don't see a starport here.
Burned down, he didn't repair it. The starport was on red and it was slowly burning down. He did not repair it, so he can't even make a Valkyrie right now, which is devastating.
That is a real pain here for a wait. Still no third base here from Mini. He's just so focused on finishing off this game here with just the units on the field right now. He's gonna come around, probably just crush this Marine medic ball. He's got more than 12 mutas, so should be able to just dive on top of this if it moves out a little bit further. Instead, just gonna go back to the natural once again, start to deal some more damage here. Bouncing glaives off of the factory is a pretty good move, but not with Marines standing right underneath there. They're going to deal a lot of DPS every single time you come in for some damage. Now they've left. He can come back in and start to bounce those glaives once again. But the factory is going to be pulled back and possibly repaired here. That starport just about to finish the command center, control tower. That's what it's called.
Wait's going to scan the natural of the Zerg and decides like maybe now's the time to pull the trigger. There was only 2 Sunkens morphed with 1 on low HP from earlier. Now the other 2 are going to start morphing with a 5th coming in, so should just barely be enough Sunkens to hold this, but it will be a tight hold if he micros it and gets good surface area with these Marines. They do have +1 upgrade, so maybe that Mini wants to come back and deal with this. He could try and go for a counterattack and do damage to the Terran's production while these Marines are out on the map. That's another choice for him. It looks like that's the play he wants to go for. He feels like he's got enough Sunkens. They can just get on top of these naked Marines on the barracks and clear all of those up, reduce the bio count from there, and then try and swing around into the natural and start taking out some of these fortified turret positions and open up the Terran for further harass later on. Now we see the Sunken bus coming into the natural expansion. 1 Sunken being targeted down, the other low HP one also going down. And sure, there's only 3 Sunkens left. The Mini definitely trying to get these mutas back over here. They have that +1 carapace upgrade, so they're very tanky, so they can deal with these Marines a lot better than they would usually be able to. The Marines should have like +2, +3 by now, but instead, because of the state of the game, they only have +1 weapons upgrade versus +1 carapace mutas. So these mutas are way tankier than they should be at this phase of the game, so he can fight this bio. I think he's even trying to micro 2 control groups of mutas independently here, trying to see if he can make up for earlier with the bad muta micro by stacking 2 groups simultaneously.
Yeah, and I think he's just waiting for his flyer attacks to finish here before diving on this Marine medic group. It's about 10 seconds away from finishing. The moment that's done, he's going to have an upgrade advantage and can just kill this off, I think, finish it, and clear the map of any Terran forces. So looks like now it's done. He's going to dive in right on top of this. Good timing here from Mini. Using that upgrade advantage, clears this Marine medic force. And how many Marine medic forces have we cleared so far? It's been a lot, I feel.
Oh, it's been a lot, Sam. I mean, all the minerals have been mined out in the main base, and he now only has like 12 Marines. So a lot of Marines have gone down in this game, I would say. Yeah, for sure.
Now we've got 2 Valkyries here, but Scourge are present, so you have to be very careful. Nice micro. Does target down the Scourge here as well. Gonna get a second volley on these mutas, and that is some serious damage. He's just microing forward though, taking these Valkyries head on. Really good control here from Awaits, dodging these Scourge forever. My god, he lost 1 Valkyrie, but he manages to keep 1 alive. That was incredible.
Mini was way too committed to the natural. He knows there's bunkers there. It would be way better if the Scourge just zone out the Valkyries from coming into the main base while the Muta and Ling get on top of the Terran production. The Lings can start whittling down these turrets while the Mutas fight off the Marines that try and come up the ramp and kill the Marines that come out the barracks. He could have ended the game there if he had not tried to commit to the natural with those Mutas and instead focused on the main and used his Lings as a utility tool to pick out all these turrets in the main. Then he would have gotten a technical win, but unfortunately he was very committed to trying to chase down those Valkyries and allowed Await to outmicro him. Yeah,
now starting to flood Lings, and it appears that he's willing to finally expand here. His main base is just about dried up, actually. 28 minerals on a couple of these patches, 28, 84. He's really getting low here, so he needs another base to start up. His main base gas is mined out. Where's his natural gas? At only 800, so he really needs to get this extra base out. He is going to go ahead and secure that. But you know, this is a dangerous point here for Mini. He's going to be transitioning into Lurker, and the Valkyries have hit a critical mass. 4 Valkyries on the field. The Marine medic force going across the map now. Can he actually get a bust or maybe kill the 3rd base here?
Yeah, the issue for Mini right now is that even though he's got this Lurker transition, he has the +1 armor already finished up on the Marine, so it takes 3 Lurker shots to kill a Marine, so it's not very super efficient, but the tech does suit him because we only have Valkyrie support and we've got no vessels in sight. He's going to do a lot of damage to his Terran soon, and he will not have the tools he needs to fight against these Lurkers. With the little Mutaling run by into the main base, going to be picking up some of the forces of Marines that are coming out of the barracks, as well as picking out some of these turrets, weakening this main base later on, trying to get out there with his Muta so he doesn't lose those to the Valkyries coming in to intercept them. Meanwhile, the Lings in the main base being a little bit of a nuisance, forcing this Terran bio back, and this will allow Mini to come forward with these Lurkers, maybe even set up for a hold position Lurker would be ideal. If he sets up a hold position Lurker before being seen, he has no vessel right now, so unless he scans this position of Lurkers, he has no idea they're here. So this could be a big pickup for him.
Really good move here from Mini, sending in that counter attack. Just drawing all the forces back, giving him that extra time to finish off the Lurkers and send them out into the middle of the map. This could be a game-winning move here with those Lurkers sitting out in the front. You just cannot move out without a science vessel here, and the the science facility is just not even done yet. The Ling burrowed in the middle of this group of Marines as well is pretty amazing. It's giving him complete vision of everything. The Valkyries looks like another one got picked off, so we're just down to 3 now, but he really needs to switch into vessels. Meanwhile, Mini has his 3rd base up, his 3rd gas is about to finish. He's even sending a drone out to take a 4th base somewhere in the top left. Things are looking pretty good. Oh, a dropship, really?
He's making dropships. We got a dropship of 8 Marines moving across the bottom of the map, and I think Mini might intercept it. He sees it. Oh, I think he sees it with the Lings.
He sees it with the Lings, and he's got 2 Scourge here. He's gonna get this. Oh my god, he gets it. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
The Lotto ship does not come up 7s here.
These Valkyries can get pincered in the bottom left by some Scourge that are hatching as well. So at least maybe two of those Valkyries are going to go down. So reduced to one Valkyrie as well. Not so much support left in the air to keep harassing the Overlords. Although Mini did put like 6 of his Overlords in the top right of the map to hide them, so that they couldn't just get harassed too much. We do have a Radiate on the way. Finally, 25 minutes in the game, we've got a Radiate on the way. I mean, I guess it's something.
Yeah, a Radiate is the tool here for Terrans to get that value. Constant Radiates over and over and over again will help you to whittle down the ZERG gas count and sort of give you the advantage in the later stages of the game. It's definitely necessary here, especially if we end up getting into hive play, but that doesn't seem like it's on the horizon here for quite some time. Let's throw down a scan here. Gonna force back these lurkers, but this is a nice contain from Mini. It's gonna be very hard to get out of here. It looks like he'll have to go up to tank. He does have the machine shop here on that forward factory. Making another dropship though. Does he really want more punishment here?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. Maybe he feels like he has to get something done with the dropships. It's possible if he can somehow sneak this dropship out that he could do a lot of damage at the 9 o'clock. It's just going to be quite challenging for him to thread the needle to get that dropship in there undetected. And Mini can just keep shuffling his lurkers back and forth between the left and the right to stop the Terran from coming out. It is fighting Spirit though, so obviously he does have this other avenue of, all the dropships coming into the main base though. There's nothing here to spot it, so this dropship could
There
get
was
a
a
lot
burrowed
done.
ling. There was a burrowed ling.
Does he see it? Does he see it?
He saw it. It flew right over top.
Okay, he knows. I think the Overlords are coming back. Maybe he does know it's
Oh,
him.
but he doesn't send the Scourge.
No, I think he doesn't know. I think he actually paid
didn't
attention.
see. Oh god, he's doing a big full-on attack here into the natural. All of the lurkers running forward, but they're not really close enough. You really need to get on top of these bunkers in order to kill them, and there was just too much stuff going on. Looks like this drop is going to get a evolution chamber potentially, but it's not actually researching anything, so not the biggest win here for Await. He's going to use all his Marines and medics in order to get that done. Probably not the best here for our Terran player. Gonna run forward once again. Here we go. Lurker's gonna burrow up in the natural. He throws down a D-Matrix. A really good spread there from Await. He crushes that. Pushes everything back. A lot of Marines went down, but that was definitely worth it for the Terran player, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely was worth it. The dropship obviously wasn't worth it, but it did keep the Lings back and the army back at home during all of that. So there wasn't any Ling support for those lurkers going in there. So actually didn't trade very well with the Terran player.
Well, the Terran player is completely mined out now. He's floating his main command center out, and the lurkers are coming forward here, actually getting on top of some of these Marines. Single tank here. Definitely very, very important for this attack. You want to be able to push those. Yeah, he really needs to mine. He's got one science vessel. He's got one tank in his natural. Doesn't even have any Marines in these bunkers. Only one of these bunkers has Marines in it. So he's very vulnerable to a counterattack. Looks like Mini could actually block this command center if he wanted to. Just run underneath it and burrow. Be a pretty good move here. Not allow that to land. But the top left-hand corner base is being killed off. He's losing all of his drones up there to just 3 Marines. So a pretty good trade there for the Terran. This Bioforce is still walking around here, but the tank was left in the top left. Uh-oh. Throwing away a tank there for free. Very big mistake. Definitely want that with your army to push down some of these lurkers. He's not going to be able to get up this ramp here with the sunken colony and 2 lurkers. He can't really bust through the natural. There's 2... I don't see any lurkers here, but there are 2 sunken colonies and a bunch of lurkers out in the middle. He really needs to get the space down and just get some mining going so he can start producing once again. Otherwise, he's going to get overwhelmed here eventually by Mini.
Yeah, he really needs to start mining right away, though, the Terran player. Like, right now, he's got no income whatsoever, and the Zerg is still mining off of these, like, 2 bases. He doesn't have any mining really going on in the top left, but it doesn't matter. Any mining for the Zerg is going to be huge, considering that the Terran is still not able to get his SUVs to the 6 o'clock position. And so I think that we will see a technical win here from Mini, being able to slowly squeeze the Terran out of the game. He needs to be careful about how he goes about it, though, because if he starts bleeding off too many units in stopping the Terran from getting the space up and running, the Terran Terran maybe has stabilized. He has got a lot of SCVs still, 30 SCVs making their way down to the 6 o'clock to mine now. Gonna get picking off this tank with the Lings as well, which is huge actually.
Yeah, losing that tank is such a bummer right now for Await. Looks like Mini gonna opt for a counterattack here. Probably just send a few Lings to shut down the space at 6 o'clock, setting everything else to run up in here into the main base and try to deal as much damage as possible. One irradiate does go down, so only 2 lurkers are gonna make their way up onto the high ground here and wait for these Marines to try and clear them out. He's gonna have to lift up all of his barracks. No point in popping out Marines right now because they're just gonna die immediately. He really needs to lift these off, keep these barracks alive here, but he's just not doing so. Keeping himself on this mining base here at 6 o'clock. Can he get up here? He is going to run up. Really nice job moving the Marines up the ramp here. He's going to keep most of them alive. Oh, that last shot was big. But he can clean up this last Ling. And then he should be able to hold on here. Oh my god, he loses that Marine. And the Ling keeps going to work here. That's so frustrating. Lurker's trying to run up this ramp right now. They just can't. And Mini is actually still on just Lurker Ling. He's not checking up. Oh god, he loses the science vessel though. That's huge.
Yeah, losing any vessel at this point in the game is like losing gold dust, so really unfortunate for him here. Needs to be also getting this gas online at 6 o'clock so he can start making a shit ton of vessels. He needs so many vessels to have any chance at having the value that he needs to come back in this game. If he could have somehow just get a second starport online and start making 2 vessels at a time.
Oh no,
be a little bit
no, the medics are going the wrong way. Oh my god, the medics are running through the middle.
This is a bit of a parking issue. That's really unfortunate. But they're going to rejoin with the Marines, fortunately. That was a little bit of a panic.
The medics are on the right. Oh, they're on the right click. What the heck?
Oh no. Okay, that is a big mistake, being the Marines on move command right now, and now Mini charging into the natural expansion. There's not a lot here, just a few Marines and a bunker, not even any medics or vessel support right now. One vessel will be popping out of this starport, providing some detection, but it's going to be a while before any irradiate or D-matrix is available, so I think that Mini has just about done it. He's now gotten on top of the Terran production. There's a few units going to top left to kill the base up there, but Mini can afford to sacrifice that base. He's got a little bit of minerals. GG is cool. Wow, what a crazy scripty game.
Lurkers here at the 3rd base for killing all the SCVs as well. Everything falling apart there for Terran at the end. Doing some sloppy clicks there, but his early game was really good. He got a lot of kills with those wraiths, held off that attack in kind of a crazy muta game there from Mini, just constantly diving into the main over and over again. But Await held on really admirably. He fought back, as the Terrans do. Definitely the race that has the most potential for comeback, especially in this matchup. Really well done, don't you think?
Yeah, I believe so. He did have a few hiccups earlier in the game where I felt like he could have closed out the game sooner, but considering how precarious that situation could have gotten for him, he navigated it really well and kind of showing his caliber as a high-level Protoss player, even as it was really nice to see.
All right, so that was Mini playing off race as ZERG. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Also, be sure to check out Shin's channel. He's doing a lot of streaming lately. Sometimes I'm in there as well, hanging out, playing some games. So come and hang out with us, chill, have some fun, and we'll see you guys in the next cast.